Warning. Some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing.
See, this is the path that we go down.
Guys.
Hi.
Down the hill.
On February 13th, 2017, two girls named Abigail and Liberty would at 1:35 p.m. be dropped off at County Road 300 North, which was east of the Hoosier Heartland Highway. They would hike the Monon High Bridge. At 2:07, Liberty would post a picture of the two of them walking the bridge, but soon after, something tragic would occur. As the two girls were seemingly minding their own business, a man would suddenly approach them, and after that, no one would ever see them again, alive at least. After they did not show up to get picked up by Liberty's father at 3:15, the family of Liberty and Abigail began searching for them and would eventually call the cops after no trace of them was found. It would become a long search for the girls, lasting a gruesome 24 hours, until suddenly they found Abigail and Liberty, who had already deceased. Initially, while searching, the cops determined that foul play was not the cause of death, but after finding them and seeing how their throats were slit, it was now a harder look into who the suspect was in this case. Looking through the now infamous video from Liberty's phone, which was released to the public days later, the man who walked up to them could be heard saying something. It was difficult for authorities to hear what was said as it was muffled, but after listening very closely, the man's words become clear. A quick and indistinct "down the hill" is what the man, or you could say the main suspect in this case now, would say. He was described as Bridge Guy. Liberty recording everything will provide authorities with a lot more evidence. 4 months later, a sketch was drawn of the suspect. It was made by onlookers who seen the man the day the girls disappeared. The police began telling the public to look more deeply into the case with everything given and to give tips. They would also state that he might be hiding in plain sight and knew his way around where the incident had happened. A few months later, a tip from a volunteer who was a file clerk would come in, giving more insight on the suspect and who it was. A guy named Richard Allen. He would report that he had seen 3 girls that day. A personal opinion and the obvious one would be that he had done that to throw police off his trail. He was later taken into custody and was set to appear in court on August 28th. Richard was charged with 2 counts of murder, being sentenced to 130 years in prison. On April in 2019, 36-year-old ODESSA CAREY suffered from mental illness, showing signs that indicated that there was something very wrong with her. She would assault and show violent behavior most of the time. With healthcare, ignoring the huge warning signs from ODESSA, her mother, whose name was also ODESSA CAREY, would unfortunately be caught in the crossfire of her daughter's rage. Out of seemingly nowhere, ODESSA started to believe that her mother had been placed by an imposter. So one day, she would end up brutally beating her to death. And after the whole attack, ODESSA would carry her mom's head, which had been decapitated by her, to a friend's house, and will hide it inside the kitchen cupboard. A little while later, she was captured and arrested. Due to her mental illness, she was not fit to go to trial and was eventually sent to a psychiatric facility where she remains to this day.